the gospel industry.
Oh, okay.
I know you've been part of it.
Yeah.
You were still part of it.
Yeah, part of it.
And especially right now,
Yeah.
how can you? Is it people saying gospel is dead? Come on here.
Oh Lord, this is interesting. I keep on saying this, and I sound like a broken record. The gospel is not dead. The pop of the Kenyan gospel music is what is fleeing, but the gospel is not dead. The gospel was, is, and will forever be.
Still be.
I keep on saying this. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John has always been that. Before we were born until now, it's as basic as that. The gospel is not dead. And if you look at it from one side, you'll be mistaken. Because people are doing quite a number of things that we do not know. Guardian Angel is still singing.
Yeah.
Okay? Even Wanjiru has her own concert. Mercy Masika does Salt and Light.
Yeah.
I mean, churches are doing concerts all over Kenya. Like, I think, which group is this from Nairobi Chapel, South Sea, the group that sings online. ICC. People are doing stuff. Travis Green was here the other day in Mombasa. Webuye, Ruak Festival. I mean, things are happening. So if you look at it from one angle, you'll be mistaken thinking that that's just one form or one medium. And that was pop music, like urban music of the gospel.
And where does it feel like after the two, I don't want to mention names, left for the other side? Yeah. Why does it feel like everyone else is trying to follow?
That's the mistake. We forget that salvation is a solo journey. Salvation is a very solo journey. And I think enough of talking about the people who left. Yeah. What about the people who are there? Recently we did Fame Award, which is pure gospel. Yeah. Why are no people talking about Fame? I'm just saying enough about them. And I'm saying this because I've realized we tend to focus on what's not working. I tend to focus on what's not working. And then we sink into a place of depression and confusion and all this hodgepodge that we think this is the only way of thinking. But as I've told you, what about the things that are working? That's what we're not concentrating on. So again, I firmly say this. The gospel is not dead.
The gospel is
alive and will forever be alive. What we do is, we have personal journeys in life. Salvation is a solo journey. Your pastor can preach to you for 17 years, but salvation is such a solo journey. And even our pastors have their frailties, they have their weaknesses. And you see, and we have our weaknesses. But again, it's a solo journey. Yeah, it's a solo journey. So people, I should encourage people to pursue that, the solo journey, and weep not for so long for what is broken. Yeah. There's an art in Japanese called kintsugi. It's using gold to cover cracks of porcelain. And I realized that's what happens. We need to look for our gold and just cover it up. Look for a good thing about the whole pot and just cover it up. And just say, okay, not even cover it up, but to move on. Let's just move on from, it's enough. Yeah. It's enough of us wailing about the people who left us. We need to keep on doing our lives.
Because I feel like people want to see the pop, they want to see
the pop. Yeah. If you look for pop, you'll get pop. I kid you not, guys are still in the industry, or rather, they say we don't call it industry, we call it ministry. And they're doing fantastic job. Moji is still singing gospel. Yeah. And we're not focusing on them. Muhanji is a dope rapper. Yeah. I mean, guys are doing good stuff out here. But we have tend to focus on highlights. Yesterday I was having a conversation with one of my team leaders called Eric. And he was telling me the world has really turned into a place where we like gossiping. Like we feed on gossip. We feed, eat, sleep. We just want to gossip. Yeah. And if it's not gossip, we don't want to consume it because it's bad. It's very bad. And I think there are people who are doing a fantastic job. Look at Hope Kid with his autism thing. And these people are doing their own lives. Yeah. And I'll tell you, I'll not mention some names here. The people who they'll do amazing things and they'll never share. But yet we think they're dark. They'll do amazing things. Somebody just wake up, call his team, and they go feed 100 kids somewhere in Machakos. And you'll never hear about it. You'll never hear about it. Because it's not for the gram. It's not for the gram. It's from what they want to do.
It's personal.
Do you want me to preach right now? Hallelujah, somebody. Anyway. So somebody was telling me one thing that we must be very keen with is it's the position of the heart. And they talk about David as a man who's after God's own heart. because his position of that was very pure. It was very true with God. Despite his mistakes, a lot of you. We're not encouraging mistakes, but I'm saying what really matters is your position of your heart.
The heart,
Yeah. Did you not see Nadia Mukami say that she used to spend a lot of time at Catalonia on her posts?
Yes,
but what is Nadia doing? It's called secular music. But she spends a lot of time at Catalonia. You know what I'm trying to tell you? There's something about not being religious and going to church with a cross on it. But about your spiritual life, what are you pouring into it? And it's a personal journey again. So if you focus continuously on what's not working, we might think that it is not all working. You see, we're in a fantastic building, and if room number 6 or 7 is leaking, it does not mean the whole room house is leaking. No. We are in a fantastic room here right now. This is working perfectly. We on lights, the water is running, and that's what happens. I think that's my biggest plea, that we make sure our hearts are okay, and we seek our personal journey with our God, irrespective of which God you trust in. I just think you should pursue your God away from every other person, because it is the problems that we get into individually that makes us sink. Like we suffer alone. It's not a group thing. When we suffer alone. When we heal alone. And when MC Mesh is paid alone in one check. I'm just saying. that's my takeaway.
So the gospel is alive.
Alive and working.
Right.
Alive and working.
All right.
Yeah.
Your last words as we finish up.
Last words. It's such a pleasure to be on the Feel Good podcast. My last and final words will be for anyone who's out there who's believing in any of their dreams. I just want to ask you to faith it. That's why we wrote this book, because we faithed it. This is just a dream. That is a dream and conversations over coffee and weird lunches and late night talks during COVID. And then when we faithed it, we did a fantastic launch, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have an idea out there and you want to do it, I pray that you just faith it. Keep on pushing, and one day it will just come out. Cheers, God bless you, and Godspeed. Abel signing out for Feel Good Podcast.
All right. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Thank you for having me.
Asante sana.
Yeah, when your podcast is big, we'll share the splits. Cheers.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you haven't subscribed, kindly go subscribe. Bless you. See you in the next one.
Kaboom.
Kaboom.